And now it's time to start with the hood. And the hood is worked by picking up stitches around the neckline. And after that, we will be working the hood back and forth and establishing that pattern that you want to have. And when the hood is long enough, we will shape the hood so it forms a hood and not just a tube. The edge stitches for the hood, the edge that is next to your face, is the same as for your arms. So those 6 stitches. We will start by picking up stitches. And remember when we did the edge around the neckline, we slipped 2 stitches. And I am going to pick up not from that one and not from that one, but from in between. So from both stitch number 1 and 2, because I think that leaves a nice edge on the outside and also on the inside. But I'm not going to start picking up stitches here in the middle. I'm going to start picking up stitches 6 stitches up. And that's because I want the hood to overlap. I think that makes a nicer start or end here by the neckline. So since the edge stitches are 6 stitches, I will start picking up 6 stitches in. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here is where I will start picking up my first. I will do the same way as we did when we picked up in the beginning. Two, 3. Whoop. 4. Oops. 5. And we take that one. 6. And then I will continue on the other side and also picking up the kind of middle stitch. Here when we join it together, it can be a little bit difficult to have it really pretty, but do your best. If you do your best, it will always be good enough. So, and I just continue. Now I have picked up stitches all around the neckline, and here is the middle of the neckline. So I picked up 6 stitches before the middle, and when I picked up all the way around, I also then picked up another 6 stitches on the inside, passing the middle. So I have the edge stitches on each side of the center line. Now what I'm going to do now is that I will start knitting, just as we did when we picked up for the back piece. Start knitting, putting a marker after 6 stitches and making the edge stitches, and then establishing the pattern that you want to have on the hood. I think that I will have this pattern that I have on the front piece. And just keep on knitting for a while. And then I come back and show you how to shape the hood. Now I have knitted a few centimeters, and you can now see this overlapping opening of the hood. I know that it is a bit fiddly in the beginning to knit. What I would recommend is to use 2 of those short, these 40 centimeters needles to work in the round. So you can knit back and forth. But I think this fiddly start, it's worth it, because the result is very practical to have this overlapping, and I think it looks nice. When you have come up about this or a few more centimeters, you can start trying the hood on to make sure that it's has the size that you want to have. If you feel that you want to have a larger or a smaller hood, then you can make increases or decreases in the same way, increases in the same way as we have done for the arms and for the neckline, and decreases also by knitting 2 together next to the edge stitches, so that you can experiment as the hood is growing. I like to have the hood rather tight around my neck in the beginning, but maybe when I try it on, when I've come another maybe about 10 centimeters, then I will see if I want to make it a little bit larger. Now I will knit until the hood is almost at the top of my head, and that is about 20 to 25 centimeters. And after that, we will start forming the hood, or shaping the hood, so it becomes a hood. Now I have knitted even further on my hood, and you can see it's becoming quite squishy, and I guess it will be very warm and nice. The size of the hood, I was happy with it when I tried it on, so I haven't done any increases or decreases. But if you want to make the hood wider or smaller, I suggest that you do increases or decreases along this along the side, the edge stitches, just as you did when we made the increases for the arms. Now the hood is long enough or high enough so it almost reaches the top of my head, and now it's time to shape the hood. And I'm going to shape it. When I mean say shape, can you see it now? It is to shape it so it's kind of going in that direction. So we are going to make a 90-degree angle on the hood. And if you have knitted my Kura sock and the version with the gusset and flap heel, you will recognize this technique because it's the second half of the heel. And I will turn my work around. It's getting large now, so I hope I can fit everything into the camera. So what we are going to do is to start this shaping. And I have already put out 2 markers, and they are placed about 1/3 of the hood. And what I have been doing is that I want it to pretty much correspond with the piece where I picked up the stitches. So about 1/3, and then I have followed the pattern that I have made. So I would say approximately 1/3. It's not that important. You will get this the shape of the hood. How, even if you have a little bit more or a little bit less, but approximately 1/3 of the stitches. And put markers there. And if you have a pattern, if you can, try to make it to kind of fit into the pattern, and you will understand why. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to knit to this left marker. And we are going to make decreases, and I'm going to make them on the outside of the marker. So I lift that one, and then I make this slip, slip, knit, decrease. I turn my work around. I slip this back, and I slip the marker. And when you have established this work, you don't have to use the marker anymore. And then I knit back to the other marker. And there I purl 2 together. So set the marker, and then I purl 2 together. Turn my work around. I hope you're all... It's so easy to kind of float out of the picture. Then I slip this one, I slip the marker, and then I knit to the other side. And then I continue with this by knitting 2 together, or purling 2 together, or a slip, slip knit, which means that I will get the shape of the hood. It doesn't maybe show that much in the beginning, but after a while you will see that the shape is coming. And now I will remove the marker, because you will see quite obvious where you have, because you will have this little gap. So I make a slip, slip knit like that. And now you can understand why I mean that I want it to be in part of the pattern. And I will make these slip, slip knit. And if it's following this kind of bridge or column with knits, then it will be look very nice and fit into the pattern. So I just continue. Whoops, going to the camera again. I slip this one, and then we just continue. And then I will do this until I reach the edge stitches. And as I have said plenty of times before, remember to try your Huldra. Because if you now recognize that the hood is becoming too tight, then I suggest that you rip back, knit a few more rounds, and then start doing this shaping again. Or if you find it too wide, do the same thing. Rip it back and rip back a couple of rounds, and then do the shaping again. Because it's better to rip it back while you can, instead of being unsatisfied with the whole garment for a very long time. So now you see how it's starting to shape, and I will do this, knitting back and forth until I come to one stitch before the edge stitches. And there we are going to close the hood. Now I am done with the shaping of the hood, and you can here see now that it has gotten this angle. It's very obvious since I have let it follow this line. So you can see it's a 90-degree angle. Okay, this is what it looks like, my version of a hood. And now we have come this far, so we should now close the hood. So I have knitted until I have reached the edge stitches. And if we, for shaping the hood, made kind of a 90-degree turn, we are going to make another 90-degree turn here. So, and continue this, this double stitches also for the front or the top of the hood. So we have the same kind of stitch around your face. So here I did a slip knit, and now I will just continue. I will keep my marker. So now I do this. Knit one, slip one, knit one, slip one, knit one, slip one with the yarn. With the yarn in front, turn around, and then we do same on the way back. Knit one, slip one with the yarn in front. I guess you know this one by now because you have been doing it for quite many times. Slip one, and then slip the marker. And now we have this stitch. Now we will knit this one together with the next stitch. Like the same thing we made. Slip, slip, knit. Like that. And then we turn our work again. We slip this one. Slip the marker. And then knit, slip, knit, slip. Turn again. Try to stay in the picture. So, like that. Slip that one. And now we're going to knit this one together with the next. So make a slip, slip, knit. Like that. Turn around. Slip that one. Slip marker. And you just continue. It's a little bit like having an I-cord bind off, but we are making the same edge. And have you chosen another edge, for example, garter or rib, then you actually do the same way. You just use those stitches instead. So I'm here again, and I knit these two together. And what will happen here, it is that you will have this line of stitches that will follow the front part of your hood. So all the stitches you have here will be knitted together, and you will have the edge stitches in front. And when you come to the other side, you just graft those stitches together with those stitches, and then you have closed the opening. And now the hood is done. I joined the stitches together in just a very simple way. It looks a little bit, not the prettiest, but I think that after washing it, it will even out a little bit. To think of, if you want the hood to kind of be a little bit tighter around your face, you can, when you knit this, you're knitting two together, that once in a while, I did it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, I think. I knit instead 3 together. So I take 2 of the stitches from the hood instead of just 1 of the stitches. It makes it a little bit shorter, and that means it's a little bit tighter around your face. So that's something you can think about if you want it that way. And you know what? Now my Huldra is done. And now Miss Evil Knits on creativity has come to its end. And it's time for me to say goodbye. I hope that you have enjoyed this journey. I hope that I have been able to give you more knowledge, inspiration, and courage to improve and develop your own knitting journey. I would love for you to share your Huldra vests, the progress, the inspiration behind it. Who is your inner Huldra? How you solve the different problems that you encountered during the way. Please share on Instagram or send me an email. I would love to hear about it. But now it's time for me to say goodbye. I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know how we will see again. It may happen, it may not. But right now it's time for me to withdraw into the woods, hide in the dark for a while, and rest. And we will see what will happen next. Be strong, be brave, be kind. Take care.